What's up everybody, it's me Steve, and on today's show we're taking a look at this camera right here, the Panasonic GH5. Now throughout the years I've watched tons of reviews of this camera, but I've never actually gotten a chance to use one in real life. So when our friends at Redee Advertising reached out to me and asked if I'd like to borrow one for a week, I jumped at the chance. Speaking of which, Redee Advertising specializes in cinematic style commercials, social media videos, personal branding videos, and lots more, so be sure to check their link in the description below. You know, I was curious to see how the GH5 would fit into my workflow. Now for me, that means basically these types of YouTube videos, daily vlogs, B-roll, etc. So without further ado, let's take a look at my time with the GH5. I have always been a fan of micro four thirds cameras. Ironically, this is an Olympus E500 from 2005. This is actually a 4/3 camera. See, it's got a totally different lens mount, and it even leaves room for a mirror box. But a few years ago, I kind of started falling out of love with them. I don't know, I just kind of like the look of full frame better. Which is why I just wasn't that excited about the GH5 back when it came out. But I'm the first to admit when I'm wrong, and I was wrong about the GH5. One of the things I noticed right away about the GH5 are the more intangible aspects. You know, it's not the kind of stuff that you would find on a spec sheet, like the build quality for one. I mean, yes, it's great build quality, but there's more to it than that. It's kind of like if you spent your whole life driving an 02 Pontiac Grand Prix and then you stepped inside a Mercedes for the first time, like all the parts are the same. I mean, there's the steering wheel and the windshield and the doors and all that, but it's like you realize right away it's just different. You know, for me, the GH5 has been one of those cameras that just inspires you to get up and get out and start filming. Like, I don't know why, but like, I'll just walk through the house and see this camera and just kind of pick it up and just look at it, you know? It just feels good in the hands. I'll just start filming like random clips of the cats for no reason, just because I enjoy using it so much. You know, I've heard people talk about the image stabilization on this camera, but seeing it in real life is genuinely impressive. Like, normally when I film B-roll, I usually hold like a Joby Gorilla Pod to add a little bit of stability, and then I end up using some stabilization in post. But with the Panasonic GH5, I've been filming all of this handheld, and the majority of it is at 45 millimeters. I mean, that's a 90 millimeter equivalent. Genuinely enjoy the image quality from the GH5. Not to mention, I like the photo style options that you have. I mean, you've got like Cinelike D, Cinelike V, Like 709, Vlog L. There's a ton of customizability in there. Speaking of which, the GH5 gives you so many different recording options, and I absolutely love that. Did you know that it takes pine trees like these 100 to 150 years to get to this height? And then on top of that, they live to be about 400 or 500 years old. You know, it's possible some of these trees have been here since like the 1500s. That's absolutely insane to me. You know, it's funny, but one really simple feature I like about the GH5 is that articulating screen. I've been filming so long on a Sony a6000 that I forgot how nice it is to be able to set up a shot like this just in front of the camera. I can already see like everything's right where I want it. Now, on to one of the things where I've been dragging my feet on. Autofocus. The autofocus on the GH5, even after the firmware update, is just okay. It kind of sort of finds what it's looking for eventually. You know, like I mentioned, I usually film on a Sony a6000, and that's an older Sony camera, and yet autofocus on that camera is so quick and so confident. You know, that camera's autofocus is like reverse engineered alien technology. So it does make it a little more difficult. I have to be more thoughtful when I'm setting up shots on this camera. But overall, it's not a deal breaker. The experience of the GH5 is so genuinely enjoyable that yes, it's 100% worth the money. If I had the money right now, I'd buy one. I've had such a great time this week filming with this camera. I love the look of it, I love the feel of it, I love the whole user experience. Anyway, I think that's all I've got for today, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time.